Welcome to the Waffle Flower channel. Hi, it's Therese, and today I'm going to be making a cookie jar, and this is using the nested dome style, so it's really good to be able to stretch your supplies. But first I'm going to start off by creating the elements for my card, and this is a new set called Little Bakers, and it's created by Flora Waycott, and I want to do some Copic colouring or some alcohol marker colouring today. And what I like to do at the moment is actually stamp out my images using my Misty, leave my stamps in place so that when I'm finished my colouring I can come back and re-stamp around the edges. I really like the finished look that it gives, and it sort of just makes the image pop that little bit more. So I am leaving, if you notice, I'm stamping out some cookies as well as one of the girl images out of the set, and I'm just flipping my cardstock around so that I can actually create multiple images and without moving my stamps at all on the Misty lid. I did actually flip my Misty around as well. I have got the lids to the colours off to the side. I do like to start by colouring the face and the hair, because generally if I'm going to muck anything up, they're the two things that I don't like the look of it, because it can change the whole look of an image if you're not happy with these things. So I find if I colour them first and I'm happy with how they turn out, then I can actually colour the rest of the image and take it from there. The hair, I actually did a really light colour underneath. I thought I was going to do the hair lighter than I did. This hair has got lots of lines already drawn in it, so it's really forgiving. So if you're not really confident with colouring, I just did some really simple Copic colouring today. I didn't want to make it too difficult, and I tend to go back and forth between my darker and lighter colours until I'm happy with how it looks in the end. So the dress, I came in with a couple of different blues, and these are really pale, like it's B 0000, and then I actually shaded with the B000, which is actually a really light colour and doesn't give me much shading at all. The apron, I just came in with a nice bright pink for the hearts, and I thought the bowl would look great, like, you know, one of those really old style bowls that you used to get, your grandmother had, or my grandmother had, those ceramic green bowls that had to be green. But what I've done here is I've actually come in with my TO marker, and that's how I've added my shading, so that you don't have to have all the different colours. You can actually just come in with a grey marker at the end and shade. I use the BV20 to shade on the skin because it's got that purple undertone, but I have also used the greys for that as well, the warm greys, and that works really well too. So I'm colouring the cookies. I'm not going to show you all the cookies. I think I do about 5 in total, but I'm colouring them in two different styles. One's a light one, of course they're chocolate chip, but one's in a lighter colour and then one's in a darker colour. I was in two minds about whether to add the dots or not, and I did end up going with the dots, but I thought they looked kind of fine without them as well. But once it all goes into the cookie jar, you don't really see the dots so much. And I don't know, I think it was a bit of fun. You could do it either way. And this is coming back in and adding the outlines afterwards. So because I've left my stamps in place, I can just make sure my cardstock is pushed right into the corner where it was initially when I stamped the image, and then just re-stamp over the top of her again. And it just brings those bold lines back into the image because I've coloured them with the Copics. I'm doing the same with all the cookies as well. I try not to bake because I just eat them, but I would like some, after seeing, I would like some chocolate chip cookies right now, especially the American style. You guys make the best chocolate chip cookies. Alright, focus. I have the matching dies here from the Little Bakers set, and that just makes life really easy, and I'm just going to run all these through my die cutting machine. I like to hold them in place with some, this is just some painter's tape, and I do keep the tape and keep reusing it. I find when you initially pull it off it can be a little bit too sticky, so by reusing it, it just takes some of the tack off the tape. So here's the A2 nested domes die, and I've grabbed one of the sort of middle size of the domes and just creating an acetate dome. And now for the base and the top of the cookie jar, I thought it'd be fun to have it in pink. And I've got the Happy Go Lucky ink, and I'm doing some tone on tone stamping, and I've got the layering wood grain stamp set. And I'm just stamping one layer of this on my pink cardstock, and then I can run, now there's two bases in this set, and that's the smaller base, which actually does have a wood grain sort of impression within it, and so does the little knob for the top of the cookie jar. But I wanted the added wood grain, you know, with the tone on tone stamping, so that's why I did that. I think it turned out really cool. If I had a cookie jar, if I was allowed to have a cookie jar in my house, it would be pink, I think. So I'm layering up my cookies, just using a dotted adhesive to do that, just until I get sort of the placement. Another thing you could do there is use that the press and seal, and you could actually push that on top, and then you know that all your elements are going to stay in the same spot, because I know I moved these around about 10 times before I actually finally stuck them down together. Alright, I'm adding the pink base of the cookie jar just with some dotted adhesive to the acetate dome, and I'm going to do the same for the lid of the cookie, or you know, the knob of the cookie jar. And I think that pink looks really cool, especially in pink. I've got some score tape because I know this has got a really strong hold, and I've just hidden that behind the base of the cookie jar, and then that's how I'm actually going to, you know, hold my little elements together. So just kind of lining them up to make them look like they're on the inside of that. And I just want to press it really firmly, just to make sure that it doesn't all come apart. The sentiment I'm going to use today, it's from the same set, but I wanted to pop it in a little speech bubble. So it's from the monochrome stamp set, and I've stamped it in some new fishing pond, and then I can just add the sentiment in black over the top. Now there is a matching set of dies now for this set, but I don't own them. I think I might need to invest. But I just simply decided to fussy cut it out and left that small white border, so it's the same as the cookies and as the girl from the Little Bakers set. And when I'm fussy cutting, I like to hold my scissors forward and rotate my paper around. I also like to sort of look ahead at where I'm going to cut as opposed to where I'm cutting, and I find that I get a neater edge that way. So everything on my card today, I'm going to pop it all up. I'm using some, I've got some foam dots, and on the cookie jar itself I've just added one layer of foam. And then this is actually, even though there's lots of steps to this card, it actually ends up looking like really a clean and simple card, or does to me anyway, and I suppose that's because it's on that sort of white background. So for the girl image, what I've had to do here, I wanted her to be sitting a bit higher than the cookie jar, so I've added a couple of layers of foam where it's touching on the cardstock beside the cookie jar, and then just one layer of foam dots behind the actual sentiment. And I thought this was too good an opportunity. What I actually decided to do was add another foam dot behind the sentiment, just to give some support to the acetate. And that's my finished card today. For more product info, please visit waffleflower.com. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook for more creative ideas. Bye.